They only
Correct.
can know to show the sympathy, and that is really not required. The proper support is required. Computer is something which if you can't see, you can't do anything. Is there any way the blind people can code?
Hi everyone, welcome back to elearningbridge. I hope you guys are doing good and staying safe. And guys, this podcast is going to be the really special one on my channel. And I'm feeling very lucky that I got a chance to interact with such an inspirational person. He hasn't only inspired me, but after watching this podcast, he will inspire thousands of people, because this guy Ankit made his disability as his strength, and despite being a blind guy, he fulfilled his dream to become a software engineer. Isn't it unbelievable? And the next thing, like, he backed an offer from Goldman Sachs and he's just about to graduate, and that was the reason I just wanted to bring his story in front of you guys, that how inspirational he is. Sometimes we used to complain for the things whatever we have, and we used to blame ourselves that we were not able to do it, but this guy didn't complain about anything. He hustled hard, he achieved his goal and dreams despite being a disabled person. So even after watching this video, if you are feeling demotivated, then I think you should forget all these things and start with a new journey, because he will definitely boost up your mind. And guys, this video definitely is the special one on my channel, and Ankit also needs our support. So just after watching this podcast, try to put a single comment for his journey and appreciate whatever he has done and whatever he has been through, because finding this kind of talent around us is really rare. So in the comment box, definitely show your love and support and your lovely wishes for his future endeavors, and I will send all these comments to him, and using that screen reader he will listen all those beautiful comments. And like, his journey is definitely inspiring. That's why in the podcast I have covered everything, those curious questions I had, and definitely it will inspire you. So let's quickly jump on to that part. Thank you so much, Ankit, first of all, for joining us on our channel. This conversation is going to be really important, and the kind of motivation you are going to give to the thousands of people today, Ankit, trust me, because your journey and the thing you have seen in your life, and you treated your disability as a power, that will give a motivation to thousands of people. So again, welcome to my channel. So as the part of podcast, first I would ask you to give a short introduction about yourself and your academic background, so that our audience can know more about you.
So very first thing, thank you very much, Sasha. Lovely to be here on this channel. So I'm sure the viewers will also be enjoying this conversation. So yeah, to give a little bit about myself. My good name is Ankit Dev. I'm a student of technology, majoring in computer science in 8th semester. I'm from Kolkata, West Bengal. So I completed my 10th standard and 12th standard both from Kolkata. After that, due to my engineering, I moved to Bilaspur. There is a central university named GoldmanSachs University. From there, currently I'm pursuing my BTech in computer science and engineering. Alright,
so see guys, I can even ask hundred of questions to Ankit. I am really curious about each and everything about him, and even Ankit can understand, like, he's a mystery box. The thing he has done, obviously it's a mystery for everyone, that how that guy is doing this thing, which even normal people are doing, but he don't have that thing so that he can perform these things in a normal way, but still he's doing it. So next question, Ankit, for you, that how did you study and learn these things? Like, you are into the computer science domain, right? And where mostly things are depend on your visibility, right?
Sure.
You need to see, you need to do the things.
Sure.
So like, how did you study and learn these things, and how challenging everything was for you? Because everybody can understand this wasn't easy for you.
That's really true. This wasn't easy. Even this is not easy for anybody, not for only me. That being a visually impaired, every time you have a hassle, every time, I mean, the way is not really very smooth. So if I cover step by step up to my 12th standard, I really had no idea about technology, although I always wanted to. I mean, I had a passion for computer science, I had a passion for computer and all those stuff. But since I'm a visually impaired, a visually challenged individual, everybody told me that computer will be something which is not for you, because computer is something which if you can't see, you can't do anything. That's the idea of most of the people. I mean, obviously that's not true, so we'll cover it up later on, right? The thing is, so up to my 12th standard, so first of all, up to my 10th standard, everything, whatever I did, I just memorized. My mother, I mean, she just made me reading. She just kept on dictating the things. I kept on memorizing the things and listening the things. That's how I did. talking about mathematics and science subjects, that also I did verbally. What I mean by that is I just used to say how to do, what to do, and my mother and my tutor, they used to write for me all the things, right? So if I talk about 12th standard, again after 10th standard, it was very challenging that my state board, because I'm from a West Bengal board, I'm not from CBSE or ICSC. So my state board also did not want me to go ahead with science just because of I'm a blind pupil. But anyway, I fought with them. I just proved them, since I have a good score. I have good scores in 10th standard, so I have all the right to go ahead with science. That's what I did, and I proved again. After that, I went through the JEE mains for the engineering. But there, I really managed my things by my own. I learned what is screen reader, how to manage the computer even without even without seeing to computer screen, how to do the coding, all the stuff I managed. So yeah, this is how it went.
I'm really happy, and trust me guys, I'm really inspired from you, Ankit. I mean, whosoever is watching this video now can take the inspiration that if he can do it with those challenges which even like normal people don't have, then even you can do the wonders, right? So hats off to you, Ankit, and
Thank you so much.
whoever have supported you in your journey, whether
Sure.
your parents, friends, mentors, tutors, big respect to them. So next question for you, like as you talked about your like CS journey, like you were liking that computers and
Sure.
like involving into the technology and these things. So how did you enter into the programming world actually? I'm very curious to know that, like how did you practice logic building, coding the things over a screen and visualizing typical concepts, right? So these kind of mysterious or curious questions you can say I have in my mind. So it would be good if you can explain these things.
Absolutely, and it's good to have this curious, because I'm sure that a lot of people, they will know how a blind people can code. So it's a good thing.
Yeah.
The first thing is, it's not like that I always wanted to do coding and all those stuff, but since I came into the field of computer science and engineering, I knew that coding or programming and whatever you say, software developing, it is going to be the part of my life, part of my career, right? If I can't if I can't do all those things, then I can't become a computer science engineer, rather software engineer. So I was always looking for something that how can I do, because it is for sure, if I want to become a software engineer, I need to operate laptop or I need to operate computer systems effectively, right? Without that, nothing can be happen. So my first semester I had no idea. In my second semester also I had nothing that much. But then I really started looking, took some of my friends' help. We sit together, we just explored in internet that how, is there any way the blind people can code? Is there any way that blind people can access computer, right? So then we got to know something called screen reader. There are some softwares available which are known as screen reading software, right? Through that screen reading software, exactly you can do whatever a sighted people can do. Only the difference is you are listening to them and then you are doing, and you are not anywhere looking into the screen. So that's how I got to know, and I traveled to the Bangalore. I just because nobody has any idea about the screen reader in my college, right? How to do and how to manage the things. So I just tried to find out that whosoever is there who can train me how to learn screen reader, how to operate screen reader to operate the laptops. Then I found out some NGOs. I traveled Bangalore. I was there for a couple of months after my first year in that summer vacation. And then I came back and I learned how to use computer with the screen reader and all the stuff. And that's how actually because I knew that I have to do coding. I did not know how to do that. But after learning the screen reader, I realized that yes, I can also do the coding as well. But there are accessibility issues and all the stuff. But yeah, I managed from there.
Wow, I mean, like this is the true hustle you can see. Like whatever we were doing, it was like we were not able to understand the programming logic. We were so disappointed that okay, we will be able to become a programmer or not. But that hustle you can see that this guy was so passionate. He was trying his level best to get those equipment software so that he can compete with the normal people who are doing the things by listening and visualizing. He was only doing those things by listening, right?
That's correct.
So that's the true hustle you have been through, Ankit. And like as there was a one part that you talked about screen reader, that okay, it was reading everything for you and you were listening and you were taking the actions accordingly. So how about those typical logics, right? Let's say there is a complex piece of code or any process which you sometimes can understand by looking at the pictorial diagrams, right? So how are you doing that?
So first of all, I learned programming from very basic, because I had no knowledge in prior. In my 12th standard also, I had no subject of computers. So from my third semester only, I started learning programming. In the first and second semester also, I was not good at that. I started
Okay.
watching some YouTube videos where I can find some accessible tutorials, because with the YouTube videos the problem is most of the YouTube viewers, they will explain the things, but they will explain and they will keep on writing on the whiteboard or stuff, right? So
Yeah.
and whatever they are writing, they are not going to speak it out. So I'm not really
Correct.
getting that how much they are writing. I mean, mostly with the programming language, the difficult part is syntax, right? You have to be proper in your syntax, right? So
Yeah.
I just somehow managed to find some accessible YouTube channels, 𝗦𝘁𝘂𝑗.com to be specific. I followed that, and through that channel, I really learned a lot of programming languages. And after that, since I already got to know how to use the screen reader, I started searching in the web. Let's say there is a concept of looping, right? So I just
Okay.
watched some videos on loop, for loop, while loop, do while loop, whatever, right? I just got to know what is it and how all those things are exactly happening. But I'm not clear about the
Okay.
syntax because I'm only listening. I'm not able to visualize them. After that, I just
Yeah.
googled it. I googled it and I got a lot of websites who are also providing the same tutorial. And there I navigate through my screen reader and get the exact syntax from the web. So this is how I managed both
Okay.
of the ways. I listened YouTubes for understanding the concept. I followed web tutorials for getting the proper syntax.
Next thing for you, Ankit. I know. I mean, this is going to be the important one. Like, did you ever think that your disability was stopping you to achieve something? Right? Did you get enough support from the people around you? I mean, that would be the question, because I mean, this is the point, or you can say, where most of the people don't get away that, okay, probably I have this kind of disability. I won't be able to move forward in my life because I don't have this thing. So that's what I just want to know it from you, that how did you make your disability as your power?
Well, so most of the people around you, the problem with your surrounding is they are not aware. It's not like that they are not supportive or they don't want to support. The most of the problem, most of the times the problem is that they are not aware. They really don't know how
Yeah.
to accommodate the visually impaired people, or they really don't know how to even help you out. They only
Correct.
can know to show the sympathy, and that is really not required. The proper support is required, right? To be
Yeah.
very frank, right? But again,
Yeah. Yeah.
in my college also, from my parents also, my friends also, my roommates, all unfortunately I had all the supportive people around me. Again, most of them, you can't expect everybody is supportive whosoever is around you, right? But most
Yeah.
of them were supportive, so that's a really big thing for me. That's how, I mean, this is the reason that I made it so easily. Apart from that, to get back to your that question, whether disability was a reason for stopping anything or not, right? So
Yeah.
disability,
Correct.
see, disability is something which is some limitations, right? I mean, instead of having disability, I would rather like to say it's some limitations. And every of us is having some limitation. I am having some limitation. You must have some limitation. Some other people will also have some limitations. So I have some limitation in my eyes, right? And definitely that will cause you some difficulties, right? Let's say to just talk about non-technical things. Let's say I always wanted to drive four-wheeler cars. Okay, that was one of my passions or dreams, whatever you say. But it is not possible, right? I mean, I can't drive a car, right? If you try also, it won't happen, right? So there are some things which are really not possible just because of your disability or limitations, but it won't impact you in a larger manner or in a long run, so that whatever you wanted to achieve, you can't. I mean, I wanted to become an engineer. I am an engineer, right? But I mean, the way was different, right? I managed it with a lot of hurdles, but anyway, I have managed it, right? So that never
Correct.
stopped me to become an engineer. But again, there are something you can't do, that you can't drive, or you can't become a successful, UI designer, user interface designer, because that really requires a lot of designing issue, how the website, how the applications exactly look like, right? So you can't be very successful in that. But apart from all those, small things, there are a lot of things which you can do really very well, even other
Yeah.
than that.
Correct.
So that you should focus
Correct.
rather than that.
Okay, so now this is going to the interesting one, because Ankit has bagged an offer from the Goldman Sachs, and it's a dream company for many of the students. And I'm really happy for that, Ankit. First of all, really congratulations and
Thank
hats
you.
off
Thank you
to
so
your
much.
efforts, your journey. Salute from my side to Goldman Sachs to hiring that kind of talent, and you guys are giving the opportunity to those talents. So from me, like, I'm really impressed with the Goldman Sachs on that part actually. So, like, for you, Ankit, how was the interview process, right? And like, did they had any sort of concerns, like when you had the interaction or when they got to know about you? Did they had any sort of concerns about you? And if you would be able to talk about the interview process, then, like, typically how many rounds and what all things they were focusing on in the interviews?
Sure. So the very first thing is, in my campus, Goldman Sachs, has never come for the campus drive, right? So I applied for the from their site only as a part of the off campusing. They always hire people
Okay.
even from the off campus as well, in the part of off campus hiring as well. So I did
Okay.
that for the 2021 new grad, and again they have all the concerns. It's kind of they have all the concerns. They have no concerns because they really don't know the things. Okay, so they are not aware. So what I did them, whenever I was applying, right, after my application process, even during my application process, after my application process, right, when there was aptitude round, when there were technical rounds, all those things, I just let them know that I am a visually challenged individual. Moreover, I am a screen
Okay.
reader user, so I need some additional accommodation. Those are absolutely required and reasonable accommodations, right? So
Correct.
since Goldman Sachs is always claiming them as an equal employer, right? Equal opportunity employer.
Mhm.
So they should
Yeah.
listen to me and they should try to accommodate me in the best possible way, right? So that's what I conveyed them. And also when there was aptitude round, I clearly mentioned that I can't be opting for the aptitude round if you can't change your questions patterns. Just like in
Correct.
all the questions you have all diagrammatical inputs, right? Most of the aptitude
Mhm.
questions you might have the diagrams in it. So being a screen
Yeah.
reader user, I can read only text, right? How can I get to know what the diagram is, right?
Right.
Also, if you allow me a scribe or a writer to give my exam on behalf of me, right? First of all, in this pandemic situation, finding a scribe is very difficult. So for the viewers who don't know, scriber is that pupil or that person who help you to write your examination on behalf of you. Literally, you will be speaking out the answers, and that person will be writing for you since you are not able to write. So they are known as
Yeah.
scriber, right? So scriber, so they were allowing me to take a scribe, but I was not agree with that. I just told with a limited
Okay.
period of time, how can a scribe can explain all the things to me, and to be very honest, how can I do the things, how can I do the diagrammatical things in my mind such a quickly and get a passport so that I can be promoted for the next rounds, right? So that's what I conveyed to them, and I just told a way around that you are not able to judge me in aptitude round, but that should not be a problem. What you can do is you can organize multiple technical rounds to equally grill me, right? Whether
Correct.
I'm a good candidate or not. So that's what I did. So that's what they conveyed basically. They were satisfied with my points. They are satisfied with my reasons that I gave to them. Finally, they arranged my technical interviews. Anyway, those were they initially told me they will be taking they will be taking 3 rounds of technical interviews. But in the first couple of rounds only, I did really pretty well. So I think it's a pretty unique information to all of you that after a couple of rounds only, they decided not to take further. Not to go ahead further. So HR only called
Wow.
me up and told that we have already assessed you. There is no need for third round, so you are done for the day. Right, so I really thought it very negatively. I thought that, oh, they just realized it, that I'm not going to go ahead. I'm not the potential candidate to think of. But that was not the case. The case was I really did very well in the first couple of rounds, and finally they offered me the offer. So I
Wow.
think so.
That's really
That
great.
yeah.
That's
So
really great.
I think that was very unique thing happened with me, that after second round only they opted me for the final round.
Like they were really impressed with your like technicality or the knowledge
Yeah,
you
should
had.
be.
Oh,
They should. Yeah. So that's the thing.
yeah.
They
Great,
even they
great.
even
So
wanted the third round to happen.
okay, so like whatever rounds happened, like let's say you only given 2 rounds or 3 rounds. So what all things they focus on majorly?
So I had 2 rounds as I told. I was supposed to have
Hmm.
3 rounds, but I could only able to give 2 rounds. After that, they did not consider me for the third round. Okay,
Okay.
in a positive sense. Because they already decided to go ahead, right? So in both of the rounds, the pattern was pretty similar. That they will always ask you what about you. Tell me about yourself, right? And I think
Okay.
everybody must be focusing on the technical skill. Yeah, no doubt about that. You have to be very good in your technical skill set, in your coding skills, to get through any big companies, to pass through any big companies. But according to me, soft skills are equally very important. How do you present yourself? How do you tell the answer to them? How do you approach to a question? Those are equally very important. So when they ask me, tell me about yourself, and I answered that question. Then my projects, they talk about my internship, they talked about my specific skill set, that after 10 years, what will be my ambition, and 10 years down the line, how they will meet me up after 10 years. So all the questions I answered pretty confidently, right? There was of course coding question from data structure algorithm. In the first round, they asked me a string based question. So it's literally, you
Okay.
can say it's an easy question. Easy marked question. In the second round,
Okay.
they asked me an array. It was nothing but a medium level question. So that's what happened. But again, soft skills are very important. That I should. To add on, the thing is, most of the people whosoever have appeared for Goldman Sachs, they must be knowing that always the interviewer would like to have you with a code pair or something which is kind of collaborative environment, so that they can put the question over there and you can write the stuff over there and they can, I mean, everybody can see simultaneously. But that is not really accessible for the screen reader users like me. So what I conveyed them, so the objective is you should be able to see my code, right? Whatever I'm writing. So let's do one thing. I will be sharing my screen, so I can type also in accessible editor like Notepad or VS Code, and you can also simultaneously see it, right? So that's what also I conveyed them, and they managed it to also doing that. So I never used code pair for the interview. I used Notepad or VS Code for the interviews to code it up and shared my screen.
Next question for you, Ankit. Like in coding rounds, speed also matters a lot, right? So being a visual, like being, or you can say you were having the visibility issues. So how did you maintain it, right? If let's say there is any sort of error in your or any sort of bug in your program, then like how were you making sure that you are doing the correct changes in your codes?
So first of all, it was all discussion based. So whenever they approached me the question, we discussed the thing, right? We discussed the pros and cons, upsides and downsides of our approach. Finally, we agreed on a same approach that has to be the optimized one, right? Then I started coding. But when I started coding, I was really confident whatever I'm going to write, because anyway, so since I use screen reader for a long time, I mean for 2-3 years, so I'm write equally faster. I can type equally faster like a sighted pupil, right? So speed was not a matter, because logic is something that is not with that is nothing to do with your visibility. That is with your brain, or that is with your really logic building part, right? So that you can't do anything. That you have to good at. You have to be good at, right? Apart from that, the writing part was not a challenge for me, because I was pretty confident whatever I'm going to write and whatever I'm writing, because my screen reader was always prompting me whatever I'm writing. And the interviewer was also helped if I by chance read any technical mistake, I mean syntactical mistake, unintentionally. Also, he was prompting that you might have missed some spaces or something like that. So I just quickly went back that line and fixed that issue. For syntactical and for logical also, after writing I was doing the dry run, right? So whenever I was doing the dry run, I was able to find the bug, where the bug is, and I can fix it.
Okay, next question for you, Ankit. Like in software engineering, like which domain you like most, and what kind of projects did you make?
So see, in software engineering, there are a lot of parts, right? Right from SRS, documentation, software developing, testing, maintenance, all the stuff are there. So I really like designing. I mean, designing in the sense. So nowadays, everybody, at least most of the people, they are using Agile software development
methodology,
right? Agile methodology. So I also have done a lot of projects, at least most of my projects in Agile, based on Agile only. So I like discussion, I like brainstorming, I like taking I like to be, be a project manager, whether I can take all the calls, upsides and downsides and all this thing. So I used to be the project manager in every project, in a team project. Okay. Apart from that, I really like coding, mostly in Python. My favorite language is Python. Okay, there is no reason for that, but yeah, I only like Python, right? The only reason is that I need to write less. In Java or in C++, I need to write a lot. In Python, I need to write less in terms of syntax. That's why I like Python most. Okay. But
that's great.
Yeah, but apart from that, yeah, I like kind of everything, nothing specific. But mostly, I like brainstorming. So brainstorming is something I really like most.
Okay, so mostly I can say that you love architecting the things, like design
setting up the goal, setting up the MVP, minimal viable product, right? Setting up the non-goals, all the stuff. I mean, making the roadmap of a project. So that management stuff is really, I'm really impressed by that part.
Okay, so like in your college time, did you also create some projects around, let's say, any websites or web project related to web development,
no, we have never,
front-end, back-end, or anything like that?
We have never developed any web-based project. The reason I'm saying we, because it was not an individual project, it was a team project where my partner and me, and we worked together. So we always worked on assistive technology. So assistive technology are those technology which assist differently able people to do their daily life tasks independently. So we worked on speech-to-text technology, we worked on text-to-speech technology, we worked on various, computing, natural language processing and all those libraries and all those concepts. So yeah, based on regarding that only, we always worked on all the latest technologies basically. And I did the coding in everywhere, in front end, in back end, in database. Yeah, whenever I'm saying that I did the coding in front end, it doesn't mean that I have done the designing. Yeah, I developed it, but designing part was taken care of by my partner.
I know, like you are an inspiration for millions, definitely.
Oh, really?
But who is your inspiration?
To be very honest, to answer to this question, I I have no such defined inspiring people, but yeah, I follow a lot of people. Okay, but there are different domains, right? If you ask me in football, I have somebody else. If you ask me in cricket, I have somebody else. If you ask me in movie, I have somebody else, right? If you ask me in software,
So you
I
can
have somebody
talk
else.
you can talk about any specific one who inspired you in every aspect, whether it is living a happy life and who motivated you a lot in terms of goal, achievement, success, and following the passion. So
So then,
who
then I
was
have
that
to
one person?
then I have to talk about two people, not one people.
Okay, you can name two people.
Yeah, the first people is he's a Googler, currently he's located in Silicon Valley, and he's a Googler software engineer at Google. So he is my
Okay.
mentor, and he really inspires me. And I should say I have followed. I have been following him. He's everything, and every decision. So I like his thoughts. So from that aspect, from technical aspect, I really follow him. But if I talk about
And who's that? Who's
yeah, yeah, his name is Mr. Santosh Bhattam. He is my mentor.
that?
And
Okay.
he's a Mr. Santosh Bhattam. Mr. Santosh Bhattam. He's Indian, but
Okay,
he's currently in Silicon Valley, and he's a software engineer in Google.
All right. And who is the second one?
Yeah, so second one, everybody knows his name. He's Mahendra Singh Dhoni. I really follow him.
Oh, nice.
Okay. So the reason
MSD.
MSD, yeah, absolutely. So the reason is, if you, whosoever is a fan of MSD, they know MSD is some person who really delivers, at the final or whenever it is absolutely required, right? He's not performing in every match or something. If I talk about, of course, his prime is, his past is prime, right? All of us, we know that. Now you can't expect MSD of 2011 or 2013, right? But when he was in his prime, if I talk about all those things, that in every match or in every tournament, in the final or in a deciding factor, it was really very crucial. So I just followed that thing, that whenever it is required, you have to deliver your best, because that actually matters. It doesn't matter that in all the past series what you are doing, but it is really mattering whether you are winning the World Cup or not, right? So that is one thing. Yeah, and second thing,
Cool.
The cool nature of MSD, that be calm and composed.
Yeah.
Although I'm not really that calm and composed, but yeah, I learned from him to be calm and composed in a difficult situation.
Yeah, Captain Cool.
Captain Cool, yeah. So I should take his name.
Yeah. Right. So next question for you, Ankit. Like, what would you suggest to those people who are in self-doubt and feeling demotivated for their failures, right? And now, if those kind of people, let's say you are passing through a tough time, or you are thinking about your failures, you are demotivated. Now you are watching his video, you can see, like, because of his challenges, how many hurdles he have faced, like how many times he would have been failed in his career. So your suggestion and your advice would definitely like pump their morale.
The first thing is, keep on trying to get to there, right? Keep on trying to get to there. You should not give up until unless it is extremely, or you are at the extreme point that there is nothing to gain anymore, nothing to get anymore.
Yeah.
Right? You should keep on always trying. That is first thing. And second thing, that I personally believe. Let's see, if I take my example, right? I was requiring a job of software engineering. That means clear cut, I was requiring a job, right? I was looking for a full-time opportunity, but I was not getting, because finding job in off campus, it's not really a easy task to do. But what I did is, whatever opportunity I was getting, right? Maybe manager of a professor, or a freelancing project, worked as a freelancer for some project, doing some 2 or 3 days project. So start working around to your area. Start working around your area. So what it will happen is, because again, sometimes you need your luck as well, right? Sometimes it's a matter of luck. Maybe you have really worked very hard, but still your luck is not that good, so that you are getting a job, right? So it's better that you start doing those things which are related. Start doing small things, but keep in touch with some work. So anyway, that will lead to a good luck someday, and you will get your desired one. So it's always better to do something instead of sitting having nothing in your hand.
Wow, that's a wonderful advice. Never give up attitude. First of all, you need to follow.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, you have to be passionate about your goals, dreams, whatever you want, and
Right.
just grab the opportunities. Whatsoever is coming in your bucket, try to pick it up.
Absolutely, because whenever you are getting good opportunity, you can kind of switch from your existing one, right? But until unless you are not getting, you should not say no. If I don't get Goldman Sachs, I won't take any offer. If I don't get Microsoft, I don't get any offer. It should not be like that. Whatever you are getting in current scenario or in current situation, if you have better than that, nothing better than that, you should always go for that.
So that was all about this video, guys, and that's the wrap of our podcast, Ankit. And I'm really happy, and even I can say I'm really blessed to feature you on my channel. This is going to be the bestest video on my channel,
Thank you so
and
much.
or you can say this is the bestest interaction I have so far. So like for my channel, it's been almost 1 year in the April, right? And like now, I mean, after 1 year, I'm meeting a person who just did wonders in his life, and is someone who is a motivation for millions of people. And that's why I'm saying this is going to be the best video of my channel. So all the very best to you,
Thank you
Ankit,
so
for
much.
your
Thank you so much.
future goals, and keep inspiring other people, keep helping them. And from my side and from my audience side, big thank you for joining us on our channel and having this conversation, and whatever advices, whatever like your journey you have shared with us, definitely it will help a lot of people who are watching this video.
Thank you.
And that was all about this podcast, guys. I'm pretty sure that you are feeling really motivated, and if you liked it, then definitely make sure to give a thumbs up and share this video with your friends and in your circle. If you're feeling that someone is feeling demotivated and feeling challenged, then send this video to them so that they will also get inspired. I will see you guys in the next video with another amazing story. Till then, just stay safe, stay home, take care of yourself and your family too.